more than 80,000 guests mesmerised by a pre-match build-up that had more tension and drama than a grand final. This event obsessed a city for a week. It was the topic of conversation.
Collingwood's been a working-class suburb all their life, like Footscray and many other clubs, Fitzroy, but they do play it tough, and they do add a bit of life to the football, a bit of colour, because once the black and white hits the sacred turf of the MCG, it erupts like a volcano, and everybody goes wild with excitement because Collingwood are there. They all want to see them get beat. But if they win, they love it because they've been a great club.
Grabbing the ball at top speed, Dunn swings away to kick a left-footer on the run. It's a beauty, straight through the centre.
All the old Collingwood Carlton hatred and rivalry was relived. Of all their rugged contests, it was the 1970 grand final that Magpie supporters still suffer over. 44 points up at half-time, the Woods lost by 10 points.
Jesselenko dashes in to kick to the unguarded goal. The ball rolls through the centre and Carlton tighten their hold on the flag.
I think the agony of losing that game accentuated it even further. The collywobbles catch cry came in and...
As well as being one of Collingwood's greatest goal kickers, Peter McKenna was also a recording star. Very briefly, even that singing career was part of a special display this week at the MCG's Gallery of Sport.
It takes time to move a mountain. It takes time for love to be.
Pretty terrible, huh? But the Collingwood fans bought thousands of his records. Fiercely loyal, but equally demanding. On Thursday night, the pride of the players and supporters was on the line.
So from the supporters' point of view, it was a case of you letting them down badly.
That's right.
If you humiliated them by losing to Collingwood.
Losing to Collingwood, that's right. And that stayed with you until the next time you met. If you turned the tables, well, good, you felt all right with the supporters. But if not, well, you've got to cop it twice as much.
So 83,000 came to the game of the century. It seemed that literally everybody was there.
Who are you tipping, sir?
Well, who do you think?
The Pies by how many?
The Pies by 7, mate. The Pies by...
But this was not a night for the new chums like the PM. This was an occasion for the diehards, like Collingwood President Allan McAlister.
If we don't win, I'll have a short trip home because it's straight to the error.
And that's how you feel about it?
That's how I feel. Yes, indeed I do. I won't get over this. I don't get over a loss for at least 4 days. I don't think I'll get over this for quite a long time, really, until we play them again.
The coaches predictably tried to keep the centenary match low-key, but everybody knew this meant a lot more than just 4 points.
I think the Carlton games mean a lot to the Collingwood players anyway. I mean, the fact that it's a centennial game probably adds something, but I mean, we basically want to win the 4 points, and you know, I think the Carlton-Collingwood clashes over the years have been fantastic. So we always, perhaps more than any other side, gear ourselves up to play Carlton.
At their first encounter 100 years ago, Carlton won by 11 points. And when the fireworks finished on Thursday night, the true test began.
And Carlton is out of trouble. Brown comes over the top of Tony Shaw, who stands there.
It was a good old-fashioned battle, plenty of blood and guts. But the Blues skipper Stephen Kernahan seemed to think it was his birthday, not Collingwood's.
Good-looking kick, it's straight through the centre.
Gavin Krasiska put this icing on the cake.
Krasiska from 50 metres. A lovely kick by Krasiska is Collingwood's first goal.
And the difference at quarter-time was 2 points. In the next term, Silvani and Spalding led the way.
Stephen Silvani around the corner. It bounces in towards goal. Spalding, goal to Carlton.
That man Kernahan kicked another 2.
Driving forward.
Before the Macedonian marvel produced some champagne football.
And Dacos goes bang at the big stick, and he's put it right through the...
But at half-time, 14 points, the Blues' advantage.
Lost it. Bradley chips into Brown. Here's danger for Collingwood. Brown sets sail for home, and there's another one for the Blues.
The man in white started the third quarter with 2 free kicks.
And he doesn't not miss it.
2 goals to the Blues. Krasiska was still rising to the occasion.
Stabs towards O'Sullivan, but a mighty grab coming up.
And Dacos produced another gem.
Kick into the pocket, magnificent, Dacos.
See, that was great delivery, wasn't it? Because he's normally a right-foot kick.
Well within scoring distance, he kicks for goal, and he's kicked a miraculous goal.
In the last quarter, Collingwood skipper Tony Shaw threw everything at Ron DiIulio. It stopped him, but not Carlton.
That's a big problem. Here's Spalding. He's still getting around the Collingwood players. Earl Spalding about 40 metres. What a great goal!
Collingwood, the club which has been let down so many times on big occasions, had just created another losing chapter in their proud but often painful history. There was no need for this Carlton supporter to keep her fingers crossed. 100 years later, Carlton had beaten Collingwood again, this time by 33 points. The birthday party was over.
Something quite special. The crowd of 83,000 was slightly disappointing after predictions of 90,000 plus, but the pre-match spectacular was spellbinding, far surpassing any grand final build-up. And the Blues were just as dazzling, led by captain Stephen Kernahan, the game's dominant forward, with 7 goals. The AFL is sure to be busy checking video of the match. Collingwood's Tony Shaw and Carlton's Adrian Gleeson certain to feature prominently. Yet it was a night that belonged to the Blues, the gate crashers who spoiled Collingwood's party, while even their coach doubted whether they could lift sufficiently in 4 days to challenge the league leaders. The players never did.
We needed a lift after what happened last Sunday. It's been a pretty rough couple of days after getting thrashed like we did. Everyone knows the rivalry between the two clubs, and you know we're up for a few days, but you know we're back there, you know, on the weekend and ready for the West Coast next week.
No unrestrained celebrations. This was, after all, another match in a long season. For the players, 8 days left to savour and recover.